Hey y'all, it is officially 2 weeks since my first bikini competition, and so in this video I just kind of wanted to talk about my experience, just maybe a little bit of advice, some tips, or maybe some things that I would have done differently. So for those who are preparing for their first bikini competition show, they'll have maybe a little bit more information, so hopefully this will be helpful too, and then just also insightful. I know whenever I was doing my prep, I would get on YouTube and constantly just research like first-time competitors and just kind of like their experience and kind of like what they were going through. So I always find these videos kind of helpful, so hopefully this will be helpful too. So I just got done actually working out, and I am drinking a post-protein shake. So I'm actually drinking, I just got this from in the mail the other day. By Cellucor. It's their Core Fetty Cake Batter Protein Powder. It's really good. I made this with some protein pancakes earlier. I didn't film that though, but I made this with some protein pancakes, and it was really good as pancakes, and it's also really good as a protein shake. And of course, I've added my glutamine powder by Optimum Nutrition, as I always add it in all my post-workout shakes, just to help for muscle recovery and just one of the most important amino acids in your body. So that is what I'm drinking. Oh, and I also added a little bit of chocolate syrup from Walden Farms. It's calorie, carb, and sugar-free. Some of the best like syrups you can get out there for all that. So it's not really messing with any of your macros for all you macro counters out there. Anyways, I'd just like to say again, it's 2 weeks since my first competition. I have completely filled out with carbs. I'm definitely on a 2-week carb overload from my competition. I've kind of been about anywhere from 50 to 70% on like my prep diet still, to 50 to like 30 to 50% kind of eating whatever I want, just kind of depending on what how the day goes. Just because I deserved a break, I think. I didn't go crazy. I haven't gone like binge eating. Like I haven't been eating like terrible, every day, all day. I haven't like rebounded or anything like that, just because like I still have goals towards the end of the summer, and it is a summer, so I don't want to like completely like gain everything back. But I went into the competition weighing about 108 to 109, and I am now at like a solid 112. So I've definitely gained a lot of like water weight. So I've definitely completely like filled out my muscles again. So I'm a lot more like fluffier, instead of just being completely shredded and dried out like I was for my show. So like I said, I've kind of eaten. I went ahead and ate all my food groups that I wanted to, all my cheat meals that I wanted to eat. I ate my pizza, I ate sushi, I ate Mexican, which I actually had that last night. So it's part of a little bit why I'm a little bit more fluffier than usual, but I had a really good workout this morning. I did leg shaping, chest, arms, and abs. I just went ahead and combined what was supposed to be my Thursday and Friday workout and today's workout. I did it really fast, and I did 40 minutes of cardio afterwards. It's probably a little bit more than you should probably do, but with all that together. But anyways, it was really good. So anyways, I just wanted to talk about my weekend and how my competition went. And if you are wondering if I am sitting in the middle of my empty living room, I am. Because I don't have any living room furniture. One of my roommates moved out, and pretty much she owned everything that was in the living room, and so we just don't have any furniture right now, so it's a pretty empty house. And also you could probably hear my voice echoing, I'm sorry, and I don't have like a cool like fancy microphone like capture my voice. But yes, I am sitting in the middle of my living room. It just has the best lighting in here, so y'all can like see me, or maybe make me look a little bit better because I just got done with the gym. Anyways, back to the video. So I'm going to start with Friday. So Friday, well, let me back up. Thursday, or let me back up even more than that. So peak week for me, my competition was May 23rd. Peak week was May 18th. That was Monday. That was also the start of my pharmacy rotations. So I'm completely done with 3 years of pharmacy school, and I have one more year left, and our last year is nothing but like rotations at just different pharmacies, different areas. And so I started my rotations on Monday. And so granted, that's the beginning of my peak week. So I am completely like strict to my diet. I have very few carbs the beginning of that week because it's my dry out diet. I have very little carbs, not really a whole lot of calorie intakes towards the beginning of that week. Towards the end of the week, I was able to eat a lot more carbs right before the show, just kind of fill out my muscles some. And I was also doing a lot of like hour fasted cardio before I had to go into rotation. So basically, my peak week was so exhausting. Just between pharmacy rotations, because my pharmacy rotations were from 8 to 5 every day. So meaning I would have to get up, just depending on like if I showered or not that morning, around 6 or 6:30, because I spend more time cooking breakfast than actually getting ready. So that's why I get up so early, because I usually leave my house like around 7:30. So I was getting up every day. At least, I have to get up at least around 6 or 6:30 to just get ready. But since I was doing fasted morning cardio, I was getting up at like 5 or 5:30 almost every morning. Doing that, so that's just exhausting. I don't know if anyone's ever done just fasted cardio in the morning, but it's not always fun, especially when you're already kind of on a calorie deficit as it is. And then trying to get up that early the next morning from like not having a whole lot of sleep and doing your fasted cardio, it wears you out. So anyways, so, you know, I go to my rotations 8 to 5. So some days are more exhausting than other days on the rotations. And so then I would come home, you know, eat, like I think by then that's like my 4th meal of the day. And so I would just kind of do some other things with schoolwork and get some things done before me and Cody would head to the gym. We usually go to the gym pretty late, just because between 2 and like 8 o'clock at night at Max Fitness in Auburn, where we work out at, it's just a big rush, especially during the school year. It's really worse. It's not that bad right now since it's summer, but we try to go and work out like super late. So I wouldn't get there until, you know, sometimes 8, sometimes 9 o'clock. Get a good workout in. My workouts usually take about an hour and 15, an hour and a half. Okay, so that's like what? Say I got there at 9. That's like 10:30. Then I had to do posing practice. I really didn't start posing or practicing for posing till a little bit under a month out before my show, which is unbelievably a terrible idea. You should start practicing posing as soon as you know that you have a competition coming up. Like, I'll talk about that a little bit more later on, but posing is so important. I think it kind of helped just because I've always been like a cheerleader and a dancer kind of, and I don't know, I kind of feel like I have a little bit more of like a natural kind of stage presence, just because I've always kind of like performed in front of people. And like I said, I guess I could kind of fake my posing moves just because I've always been a dancer and cheerleader all my life. I don't know. That's probably just BS, but that's just my take on it. So I basically just practice posing every night from a little bit under a month out, you know, before my show. And so getting up at 5:30 in the morning and not getting home until like 11:30 at night, and so really not going to bed till 12 because I make a protein shake and everything. So I was getting about like 5 hours of sleep, if that, every night, and I'm just exhausted from the day. I'm exhausted from rotations, I'm exhausted from my workout, I'm exhausted from just not having a whole lot of energy because I'm so low on carbs. So that's kind of how building up to my peak week was. And you can kind of see in my posing videos that I posted just how like I was just so sunken in and just so weak. It wouldn't have been that bad if I had all the time in the day or had nothing else to do in the day and actually wasn't exhausted just from working and doing rotations. So that's it. Don't let that scare you. That's just my schedule, and that's just how my peak week went. But so Thursday I was done. I did a lot of last minute packing. I meal prepped everything. If you can, I would definitely try to do that earlier because I didn't go to bed that night until like 12:30, and we had to get up at like 7, I think, for me to like finish packing and get ready. 2 weeks I'm going to go pick up my mom that morning. So we were headed to Birmingham. I did my tan. So I got my tan through the show. The tanning people who was like one of the promoters, like one of the sponsors during the show, whatever the competition. I suggest using the tanning people that the competition does. There's a lot of people that like I met that did their own kind of tan, but these people are like professionals and they know exactly what they're doing. And this particular competition at the Vulcan Classic used Tan to Win, and they were amazing. Slater, he's always video bombing my videos. Anyways, I suggest booking your tan with the show's tanning people. So I booked my tan for 1:45. They suggested to do that like really early. Come on through, come on. Just come on through, go. I'm sorry, I'll just talk over him. So I did that because I had check-in and weigh-ins from 5 to 7 that night. So, and our hotel check-in wasn't until 4 o'clock p.m. So, and my tan was at 1:45 at the hotel actually. So I booked it really early just so I could go ahead and get my tan, and we could just go ahead and like lollygag around and then check in at 4 whenever we were ready. And then check-in and weigh-ins be at 5 to 7. So I could get there like really early and be done with that so we could like go eat somewhere. So we got to Birmingham. I went ahead and went to the hotel and went to my appointment. So they were able to actually take me earlier. So that's another tip. So if you booked your tan, if you arrive early, sometimes they can just go ahead and take you. So I think I did my first tan at like, my appointment was supposed to be 1:45. I think they took me at like 1:20. Like I just wanted to go ahead and like see where the room was, but they were like, oh, if you're ready, we can go ahead and take you. So I did. So I went in there, and let me tell you, that experience, I've never gotten a fake tan ever in my entire life. I've never got spray tan. You know, I use like the fake like Walmart over-the-counter stuff, but I've never actually gotten like a spray tan. So I've definitely never had anyone spray me completely naked. So I get in there, and like the first thing I see, I feel like I walked into like a soft porn film or something, because I walk in and there's like this black plastic tarp that's like covering and protecting the whole entire room. And there's just like these naked fit ladies with like these big old fake boobs, and they're all tan, and they're all just sitting in front of these industrial fans like drying out and fanning themselves, and they're just casually having these conversations, just butt naked in front of everybody, and there's just like groups of these women just sitting there talking, and I just like get wide-eyed. I'm like, that's going to be me. That's about to be me. Whatever. So I walk in there, and they tell me just go ahead and get undressed and get inside like one little, the tanning booth tents. And so I did that. And so I'm expecting, you know, one of the tanning ladies to come tan me. An old man comes by. I think it was like old, but I mean, I don't know. He's like in his 40s, 50s maybe. He comes over there and he's like, you ready? And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I am naked. First of all, I'm naked in front of all these strangers. So like any type of modestness, you know, conservativeness I had just went out the door. I was like, okay, I'm at a fitness competition. I'm gonna have to get over that. And there's naked people. There's half naked people and the actual naked people everywhere. Tan fit people everywhere. So I just got over that. And so I had a man spray me completely naked. And so that was really interesting. All I could do was giggle on it. It was just such a funny experience for me. And he was cracking up at me because he was like, is this your first time? And I was like, yeah. And I'm just like standing there like spread eagle, and he's like spraying me, and it's like cold. Like the tan is really cold. And he's just like getting up all in my grooves and my, you know, my groin, and, you know, at one point, you know, I had to turn around, so he was getting my backside. So he was like, okay, now bend over to your bikini pose. So like I'm exposing like my whole butt cheeks and everything else. And he's just in there touching it up with his little sponge, and I'm just like, this is just. But you know, you gotta think about, they're professionals. They tan billions of girls and guys. The guys have to get butt naked too. I wonder if they had old ladies spray them. I meant to ask somebody that. But anyways, that was my tanning experience. So that was interesting. That took about 30 minutes because they do a really great job. They make sure that you are evenly and perfectly coated. So they don't go and stand in front of the industrial fans and join the other naked ladies with the crowd and just like stand there and look awkward. But so that was about 30 minutes. And so they suggest to you to obviously wear like really loose clothing, you know, nothing that has like any tight bands around your waist or like your boob area. I didn't even wear a bra or underwear to the tanning place. I didn't wear it when I left either. And I also had on like my Nike flip-flops to leave in. And depending on the hotel and the show, they kind of strictly enforce to wear all long pants, all long sleeves, so you're not getting that tan everywhere, because it's not a tan that necessarily like dries and soaks into your skin. It's like always rubbing off, and I learned that definitely. So what I wore like this really loose Nike tank top, so it had some pretty good coverage. So like, since I wasn't wearing a bra, I wore this over, and it just fell kind of loosely and nicely on me, so it didn't really hurt my tan or anything. And then I also got these pants, which I really was trying to find in a little bit smaller size. I actually got mediums in these. They were like falling off of me, but I got drawstrings so I could like tighten them. But I got these Nike, just like really loose, like they're like sweatpant material, not as thick, but like that cotton material. They're like really loose long pants that I wore with my Nike tank top, and then wore my Nike flip-flops. I brought a loose jacket, like a workout jacket too, to wear just in case they were like really enforcing the long sleeves, long pants thing. But they really weren't. So there was a lot of girls that had like thicker, like long maxi dresses. That's what they wore after their tan. Something that had like a little bit of a strap and kind of like looser fitting, nothing tight. I actually bought a strapless maxi dress for that, but mine had like a little bit of a band right here, which that wasn't actually more the concern. It was more the band like sitting up here, because it, you know, it has to like sit on your chest. I didn't want it to be like an awkward line right here. But going back to the tan though, the good thing about getting the booking your tan with the show is, or at least for mine, you have unlimited touch-ups. So anytime that you do mess up your tan, you know, if it's an accident, obviously if you go purposely take a shower and you've got completely ruined your tan, like they're not gonna, I mean, they probably would have helped you, but you probably would have had to pay a fee. But you have like unlimited touch-ups on your tan. And also for the show, they're backstage with you, and so if you have any spots that need to be touched up, they were like there for you. They also do the glaze or the gloss on your skin, so when you go out on stage, you have like a little bit of like a sheen to you. They also did that like amazing too, right before you like went out on stage. And they also have like the bikini bite, or the bikini glue that like glues your suit to like your butt and your chest, so that's not moving. So that was another great. They had like unlimited. They were amazing. Like Tan to Win, y'all are amazing. They took so much care with me. So highly suggest booking your tan with whatever the show is using. And that way your tan looks the same as everyone else on stage. So you don't have like a drastic different tan color than everyone else. So I just think it's really important just to get your tan with the show. So anyways, that's what we did. We were actually able to check into the hotel a lot earlier. So we checked in, I think, pretty much right after I was done my tan, so at like 2:30. Then we just kind of went and killed time. We just kind of, yeah, I don't know. I don't even remember what we did. We just kind of killed time around town. And then I had my athletics meeting at 5, so I went ahead and we got a lot of stuff in the hotel. I went ahead and got there at like 4:30 because I knew I wanted to get there early. And technically that was a little bit later than I wanted to get up, but the line was already lined up when I got there at 4:30, and it didn't start till 5. And so I was like, dang. So that probably took about almost an hour just between waiting in line and getting my height card and getting my number, which was 79, and getting your little goodie bag thing, etc., etc. So for bikini, you just get a height card if you don't already have one. So I was 5'1", and that confirms what division or class that you're going to compete in. So I was class A. So I think class A is like 4'9" to 5'2", I think. So I definitely fell in the class A, which I thought I would. But your official height card, which was in one of my videos that I showed, that just kind of confirms what your division is that you're going to be competing in. And that's also check-in and weigh-ins is also where you can register for the show if you haven't already. And also you can get your NPC card there. So you have to have your NPC card and your registration form when you show up for check-in and weigh-ins. And then also that's where they determine if your bikini bottom is illegal or not. So NPC and IFBB is Pro is really strict on like your bikini bottoms. So, you know, they wanted to kind of keep it is bikini, but they want to kind of keep it tasteful and classy. They don't want thong bathing suits. So you have to wear your bottoms bathing suit to check-in and weigh-ins and get it checked out. I started sweating whenever I had my bottom on because, you know, it's my first show, and I ordered my bathing suit from ravishsands.com, which they specialize in course competitions, and I got the suggested cut. I got the Brazilian cut that they suggest for NPC bikini. But, you know, I didn't know, like, you don't know if, like, okay, is it too skimpy or is it not? So I was just really nervous that for some reason that it was just going to be illegal, and they tell you to bring a backup bottom for just in case they don't approve it. And I was just really nervous, but they approved mine, so my bikini bottom was legal, so that's good. So all great. So I think after checking and weigh-ins, I think it was about like 7 o'clock. We went and got dinner, and I actually ate with Mom and Cody for dinner. I just kind of got something up around, I think I got like some fish and vegetables, something that I would normally eat. I did that, and we went back to the hotel, and I wanted to get some like posing practice in, but there really wasn't anywhere in this hotel to like practice any posing. I think in my video you can see me trying to awkwardly pose in the hotel room, but there just really wasn't enough room, and it's carpeted, so I wasn't used to walking on carpet. So eventually I just figured out that I think I was hurting myself more by trying to practice than actually just getting a good night's rest. So that's my other tip is, you know, go ahead and have your posing down so you don't have to worry about necessarily posing, any last minute posing practice that night, because you really want to try to get to bed early, because I had to get up at 4 o'clock that morning because my tan was at 4:30 that morning. My second coat of tan. My first coat, you know, was at 1:45 on Friday. So at 4:30 on Saturday, that's when my second coat was. So I had to get up early, and I think at this time it was already like 10. So I was like, I need to get sleep because I knew I was going to be so exhausted on Saturday. So go to bed, get up at 4, go get my second coat of tan. Eat breakfast. I do my hair and makeup. A lot of people get their hair. You can actually book your hair and makeup at the show. All shows always have somebody like a makeup and hair artist there where you can like get an appointment and do that. I had already spent enough money. Like booking the tan was just kind of the last straw for me. For me, it was like $120 to book my tan. But I got like a special package, so whatever, I don't know. It was worth it. It was definitely worth it. But I think like sometimes hair and makeup is like $50 each. So I just decided to do my own makeup, and I decided to do my own hair. So I bought some really long extensions, and I practiced playing with them before with a wedding, like I had like the weekend before or something, or like 2 weekends before, just to make sure like, okay, I really like them. So I got some really long extensions. And then I just got them from Sally's Beauty Supply. They're like Remy brand. I think they're like 18 inches. No, but they might be, yeah, I think they are 18 inches long. That's a brand I got by Remy, R-E-M-Y, I think is how you spell it. And then for makeup, I just kind of collected a whole bunch of stuff. Like I got a bunch of stuff from MAC. I used a bunch of stuff I already had. I used makeup from It Cosmetics, from Tarte, just whatever I just thought I may need. I just went ahead and got. And lifesaver, YouTube. YouTube, I just cannot thank enough because I YouTube everything. But I discovered Carly Bible, which a lot of you probably already know. And she does amazing like hair and makeup tutorials. So you need to check out her channel as well, Carly Bible. B-Y-B-E-L, I think is how you spell her last name. And it's Carly with an I think. If I have that wrong, I apologize. But I watched a ton of makeup tutorials by her, and she pretty much taught me how to do makeup on YouTube. So I kind of went off that. I practiced a little bit before the show. So I did my makeup and hair on my own. Another great thing, I can't thank enough that my mom and Cody were with me, because Cody like packed all my meals in the cooler. He packed up all my supplements and vitamins and everything like that in my little vitamin box. And him and Mom always had like I broke down like my list of like meals, like what time of the day when I should be eating them, and like what supplements to take with each. And they had all that, like they helped me out a lot with that. Like they made sure like they went and heated up the microwave in the lobby room for me while I was in there getting ready, because it's a lot of chaos. So that's what I did. I got ready. Oh, we had an athletes meeting at 8. So the show, pre-judging started at 9, and you usually have an athletes meeting an hour before. So we had an athletes meeting at 8. So we left the hotel. I was ready at 7:30. Left the hotel, went to the athletes meeting. Since I had no idea, I was just asking everybody, what the heck is going on? What do I expect? What do we do? Just ask questions. Just be very outgoing, and everyone there is just so helpful. And you don't get that competitive, like, girl, like, looking you up and down vibe, like, oh, she's my competition, or like, no one's like me, no one's catty. Guys and girls they're just such great people. I met a lot of great people at this show, but everyone was so helpful. Any questions, they gave you tips and advice. It was great. I didn't know when bikini division was going on, because some people are like, oh, sometimes bikini's like first, sometimes bikini is last. Most people were like, bikini's always last, but for some reason there was like a rumor that like bikini might be first, and so I was like, oh my god, it's like, it'd be so great if it was first, and then I could just be done backstage and come back and watch the show. So they were like, at our athletes meeting, they like talk to you about the rules, blah blah blah, all this stuff, and then they tell you, oh, well, we'll have the divisions in order, like who's going first to last, posted on the door backstage. So I was like, okay. So I go backstage, and they didn't have it posted for like a whole other like 30 minutes. Like we went backstage, and the show starts at 9, and I think it's like 8:30 at this point. And I'm just like, okay, I have no idea when bikini goes on. And so I got my little bag, just brought my bag back there. I just used, because like I said, I got so tired of spending money, like I was just kind of like out of funds. So I just used this like duffel bag that I got as a freebie from Victoria's Secret from ordering so many bathing suits. Sorry. But I got this. I used this duffel bag. It's kind of like a medium duffel bag. I use that to put like my heels in, my just makeup bag, hairspray, pump it up bands, some workout bands, and basically I think that was it. I don't know, just little knickknacks or something there. Going back to another advice tip source. This was okay to use, but for next time, there was a lot of girls that had like the short or the smaller rolling luggage bags, like the little carry-on luggage bags. That's so great, because you have your tan. You don't want to have anything that you're gonna like carry on your shoulder like this, or like accidentally hold on your arm like this, because it'll mess up your tan. And I did mess up my tan. But luckily, again, Tan to Win, the tanning promoters, they were there and they helped me out and touched me up as many touch-ups as you want. So for next time, I'm definitely getting something that I can roll. So that was such a great idea. I was like, why didn't I think of that? So tip, I would advise getting a carry-on luggage rolling bag to put all your essentials in. Other tip for backstage, bring a long mirror that you can set up against the wall, because not all backstages are going to have mirrors, and there wasn't any mirrors, because this was like at a backstage at a high school, and it was just like concrete walls back there. So there was a lot of girls that brought their own mirrors, but everyone's like trying to get in front of that mirror and like finish getting ready or practice their last minute posing and everything. And so the whole time I was like, dang it, I wish I would have brought my long mirror. So next time I'm definitely bringing my long mirror. Also, for meals, because I didn't know when bikini was going on, bikini didn't end up going until very last. And you are backstage I was backstage for three and a half hours, I think. So the show started at 9, bikini didn't go on until like 11:30 or 12. So that was a really long time. So that's like at least 2 meals that I had to squeeze in there. I think I ended up going out into the crowd, like I just snuck out real fast, and Cody went to the cooler and got me a meal, like what I needed, so I could eat it backstage. So that's my other tip. bring your meals backstage with you. Bring like a lunchbox where you can pack them in or have them in. Next time, or hoping if I can afford it, I want to get one of those 6-pack lunch boxes or backpacks that like you see all these fitness people have. I'm sure there's like other brands or something that make them, but I just think it'd be cool to have my little 6-pack with everyone else, because that's what I saw like everyone have back there, was those little 6-pack lunch boxes. If you could find a giant lunch box, that would be perfectly fine too, like one from Walmart. But I don't know, I just feel like being high maintenance when it comes to my lunch boxes, and I want a 6-pack backpack. Cody's gonna get on to me for that one. But so that's my other advice: have your meals packed in with you backstage. Also, for when you go on stage, you want to have some sort of like sugar source. So my coach suggested that I drink 4 ounces of alcohol and a sugary, like 3 to 4 ounces of a sugary beverage of my choice, which I did. I drank a cranberry vodka right before I went on stage, but I drank it so early, I don't think it had no effect on me, because I didn't never know when we were going out, because I was like so nervous and like bouncing around, like talking to a million people, like what do we do next? Like what do we do now? Do we work out? Like do we just chill? Can we go sit in a crowd and watch the show? Like is bikini up? You know, I was just constantly like, I don't know what to do. I was just back there talking up the storm, just entertaining people like I always do. But I think I drank my alcohol way too fast. And so they tell you to have like a sugar source, because like 30 minutes before you go on stage, so it like pumps up your muscles, so, and it makes you like vascular too. So it just kind of gives you like a short little burst of like muscle fluffiness, and like gives you some nice little veins. So there's all kinds of people that have all kinds of sweets back there, like Rice Krispie treats, donuts, sweet tarts, Skittles, and I was like, okay, I want that. So next time I'm bringing like my favorite candy, like Chewy Sprees. Chewy Sprees are my favorite. That's gonna be my sugar source before I go on stage. So I go on stage, do my thing, super nervous. I've never been so shaky and so nervous in my entire life, but that was great. It was so much fun. I had a blast. It was like one of the biggest adrenaline rushes I've ever had. I've never really been one to have stage fright, because I've always done cheerleading competitions. I've always done dance. You know, I was like a softball player. I did like a little bit of everything in high school and like freshman year of college, and I've never had stage fright. I've just always been kind of like a natural performer. I can't talk. Performer. So I just never had stage fright like that. Like I was shaking constantly. My legs and my poses, like I don't know how you can't see on my video that like my legs are like shaking. Like especially in my back poses, I could not control my legs. They were shaking so bad. Like that's how nervous I was. And my teeth, I was like going crazy. But it was like adrenaline and like nerves and excitement all at the same time. But it was such a great experience. Like, gosh, it was such a great experience. Like, I can't wait to do more. And there were so many just like great, like other beautiful, like fit girls there too. So that's like another thing. And they all had such great personalities. That was what was so great about it, was everyone was so nice. But I did not expect for me to get the turnout like I did. So for the divisions I competed in, you know, I competed in novice bikini A, which is novice means like first time competitors, or if you've competed before but you've never placed in like top 5 or never placed at all. So that was like pretty much for beginners. So I thought I'd have a pretty good chance in novice just because it's like beginners. So I was like, okay, I could definitely place in novice. Maybe first. Like that's where I felt like I would get the best chance of like getting first place. And then I did bikini open, which is like, bikini is like anyone can do that, but it's also where like all the veterans compete, So these are girls that like do shows like all the time, and they've done so many shows. And so I just kind of like decided like, all right, well I'm gonna try it, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna get up there with the veterans and just see what I got. Like I just thought it'd be like fun. I thought it would just be more of like a motivation for me, and just something more of a little bit challenging, just because I like a challenge. So for both those divisions, I got first call outs, and I was put pretty much center in stage for both. And so that usually means that's first or second place. And so, of course, in my mind, I was so ecstatic, and like you can hear Cody in the video, he's going crazy, and he's just like, "Oh my God, like you're gonna win it, dude!" I'm just like, I don't know, but it was crazy just to think like, holy cow, like they picked me, and I just wasn't expecting that. Like I didn't go there for like a trophy, like I didn't go there to like win the thing, even though Cody was like, "You have to win it, like you can't do this and not win it," you know. He's like all about like, nope, you either go hard or go home. And like I usually am too, but I was just kind of like more so like doing it for myself and just kind of like pushing myself and challenging myself and just seeing how much of progress I could have done and just having the experience overall. So finals were at 6 o'clock. We had another small athletes meeting at like 5, so I was there at like 5, and then finals was fun. That's when everybody, like the whole crowd, that's the actual show. So like everyone's like their moms and families and friends come to that show, and it's more of like an actual show. You have like guest posers, you have more of like entertainment stuff for that show. And basically though, for prejudging, they've already made their decisions. So prejudging is like your time to shine. The final show, of course, you want to shine too, but it's like more for like a show for like your friends and family. But at finals, they do judge and pick the overall winners. So for prejudging, they already know who the winners are at prejudging. But at the final show, they take the first place winners at each division, and they do like a comparison round for like overall. So I ended up getting first place in Bikini Novice A, and I ended up getting overall in Bikini Novice, because there's like different classes in Novice, and so I ended up winning the Bikini Novice A and Bikini overall, so that was real exciting. I ended up getting first place in Bikini Open, which I was so excited about. And then when it came for Bikini overall, like winning the entire bikini division at this show, I was like, okay, this is exciting, but like I honestly did not think or imagine that I would win overall of like all the other girls that like compete like all the time. I was not expecting that. I was the winner of Bikini A, so I'm the shortest girl up there, so it's like A, B, C, D, and like it goes by height, obviously. And I just was not expecting to get overall winner from that, because there was a lot of girls in there, and I was like, when I go back and watch the videos, I'm like, how did she not get it? Like, that girl was gonna get it, that girl was gonna get it. But I just couldn't believe that I ended up winning overall of bikini division, period.